Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I were safe and sound. And we just slow down. For you and I were safe and sound. We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us. In front of us. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I were safe and sound. Can we just slow down? And we just waste another day. I don't know to say. You say we need a change, I feel that you need it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, it's not like we need them.
Yo, what's up, everyone? There we go, fix the last detail. How's everyone doing? Can everyone hear us fine? How's the music? Is it too loud? Just let us know in the chat and we'll fix it. Steve, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Alright, so everything's good. Alright. Everyone, welcome to our Q&A. We're gonna do these more constantly now. Okay, today we have me, Chupacabra, your community manager and support manager. But those are two long words, so I just added as community manager. And by my side over, that way, we have Steve Silent Error. He is one of our developers. Everyone knows him. He's from Germany, and he's cute as hell.
I know, right?
Alright, so we have everything set. We've already gotten some questions from the forums. We're gonna get through them. We're gonna get through all of the ones you guys talk about here in chat. Just keep the chat clean. It's already in slow mode. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So Steve, do you want to say something before we start with the forum questions?
No,
All right. Perfect. Thank you for your kind words.
I know it.
All right. So we can go straight. Where's Hold on. We need someone here. All right, so let's go. The first one we had, this was posted literally a few minutes after we posted it initially. Kinky Warren wants to know why grenades are not possible in arcade non-sniper servers and shotguns. Well, all right. So let me explain this very simply. Actually, non-snipers they are only. Okay, that icon is just to show, but that means AR only. That means you can only use ARs. It was never like, yeah. And why should PvP section, small maps, gameplay specifics affect? I really don't understand what he says here. I don't know if he's in chat, but if you could clear up the question about the gameplay specifics from PvP small maps affecting official maps. But if I understand correctly, why do they have different things? Why do they not have different things? I think the question is pretty simple. Then you'd have to have a completely separate game. A completely separate game mode. All right. Maybe it's a. All right, so Steve, this one I'm gonna leave for you, but this is something we always get all the time. It's nothing aggressive. Fusk Dev asked about weather changes in the game. Can you explain a little bit why we cannot do that?
I mean, Fred and me worked already on a weather system that was like 3 years ago. The problem there is it was just client-sided. I think Egos and me were testing it, and for him it was day, and for me it was night and raining. And then we also had to make checks so that it doesn't rain inside houses. And this check was like too much for the FPS, so it's too intensive. Maybe we should try it now with the 64-bit version, but yeah, it's ideal. I would love to add the weather system, but yeah, we will see. Hopefully soon, maybe.
All right, perfect. I think that's pretty clear. Okay, this is bad. All right. Why Oregon doesn't have almost nothing of wood, stone, and metal? Okay, so Lucky calls. He asked about the resources, metal, wood, and stone in Oregon. Since this is pretty much all your department, do you want to explain to them why it gives them this impression, which is not true?
I think one of the Discord moderator reported to me as well, and I checked actually, and the amount of resources are almost the same. I agree in Colorado V1 is a little bit more, but only like maybe 10%. But maybe I didn't expect, because Oregon has like almost the same size than V1, but Oregon is like more packed with small villages, towns, and stuff. So maybe I should like consider to increase it in Oregon, since there's like more things to farm. But that is already on my checklist, so I will investigate it. Yeah.
Alright, when are we restarting VR? We do not have like specific plans to restart VR itself. VR has already been reset. But we might add some season system to it as well, as we had before. Silent error. How do you read it? Wait, he is silent error or silent terror? It's silent error. Okay, there's only one T. But you can call him terror as well because he's terrorizing.
Wow.
I have a question. How headset works in this game? It doubles the weapon's damage when it hit? Exactly. Whenever you shoot someone in the head, you have a multiplier because you hit them. Alright? Can I kiss silent? No. Please give me ISS oregano. Not News is Survival. This is ISS 2020. We took the concept from ISS, the original one, but we kept everything that we thought would be relevant and would add in a good way to the game. Of course, it's not going to be exactly like it was before because we're in 2020. It's been 7 years. So it's literally impossible. Fix the recoil system. Where'd your cam go? Huh, your cam disappeared there for a second.
Lol.
Yeah.
Account from
So fix the recoil system, please. This is a question and answer. This is not a question nor an answer. This is just a random grouping of four words. About politics? No. Talk more about the Outbreak project. We have nothing to do with Outbreak at all. Can we get Whitestone V2? Was such a nice PvP seed. If you mean for PvP servers, that's one thing, but if you're talking about it on Infestation Survivor Stories or Survival, that's just not viable since we have the V1 map, so we're gonna keep Whitestone from V1.
but I do place the 5-story into White.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we do improve things from back in the days, but yeah, we're not gonna do a mix and match. It's just gonna be a little bit of fixing here and there. Like I don't know if you guys remember, but even in ISS 2013, back in the days, they used to improve things in the cities, use buildings. So if you take the map from May 2013 and from December 2013, they have a lot of different aspects to the map. Small differences, obviously, but they still are there. If you sneak and then jump, you hear nothing, but your opponent hear the steps. Is that a mistake or? Okay, well, I'll take a look at it, Dia Blacks. I'm not sure what's going on there on the thing you mentioned. Rise Picker, and there was somebody else who actually asked the same question. I think it was Dragon. Can we get shields already on survival? Steve is preparing something for that, so I'll let him speak. Steve?
Some of you guys maybe saw it in the Discord when I wrote it in the discussion channel. So the plan is to bring them more, like make them more common, but not too common, like a mix. But they will also have a really high rate. Let's say like this. I think I made it so technically with a small backpack, you could have like 2, depends of your skill tree, 3 wood shields with you, and that is live after the next patch, and will that will be a problem if we release them now without that patch. So yeah.
Alright, so D-Rog Dude asked, why are there no premium servers? Obviously referring to survival. Why are there no premium servers, Steve?
That's a really good question, yeah. But I came up with that idea already to Fred. And I think we ended up working on adding the beginner server. And I think we just wanted to see how the beginner server, like how the community reacts to the beginner server. And then for the next patch, we might bring the premium servers.
Alright. Pink Eye asked about ammo crafting works. Survival completely useless today. About ranking reward. The thing that makes ammo crafting after the rework kind of useless is how hard it is right now to find bullets versus how hard it is to find ammo. And that is something we are constantly working on. As I've mentioned previously, we are continuously working on the loot to make it more balanced, but just remember, whenever we add something to the loot tables, that means that we reduce the chance of something else. So you gotta be very careful with this, otherwise you guys will, like, we add something more common, like let's say the bullets, and then you complain you can't find duct tape, you can find sand, etc. Murney 1337, wow, 2020, he has 1337 on his name. Is there any way to change what account I log in into via Steam? Yes, you can just open a ticket and we'll do it for you guys. Can you put an in-game time clock on the loading screen when you're selecting characters? Tempos, we actually did try to do that. The problem is, since not all the servers start at the same time, they do not exactly have the same exact time, especially region-wise. So it's really hard for us to do that. One solo server, one trio server, the rest no limit. So you literally, guys, we have it set up, and if people are preferring the smaller group servers, that means they don't want you guys with the big teams joining those servers. I think that's like pretty obvious, you know? You're trying to force people into playing in the servers against a bigger group. We gave people choices. They play where they feel more comfortable. We're gonna ask again about the shields, already been explained. Oh, we got a raid by
Little
Papaya.
question.
Mhm.
I think the chat is not working on the overlay.
True. Thank you.
Or maybe that's a picture of our third developer.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, third paper.
Wait, did I really forget the password? What? But this was the password. So you can fix the chat. It's because I'm not logged in on the.
Oh. Oh.
And I don't remember the password because I have it. I'll figure it out. One sec. Alright, so can you scroll through the chat and find questions while I find this, please?
Yeah. Right here, I will send you the password. Okay. Let me scroll up a bit. Sniper's drop system, can you talk about it? What should we talk about it? They are super rare, but there's something coming what you guys might like. Yeah, the chance of getting a sniper is a bit increased. It's like the item box system. Like I placed them already and they need some tests, but they're coming next patch. I have no idea what language that is. What about netcode? What about netcode?
Yeah, guys, you have to ask objective questions. Really confusing when you just mention something.
Guys, try to speak English.
Yeah, we're only gonna answer questions in English. Alright, there's too many people in here, you know, we can't. Otherwise, can't you guys add Clearview V2 or some other big mass pack? Barbarian, again, are you talking about PvP maps? That's the case, yeah, we can do those things.
Like when it comes to customizations on the towns itself, then I'm not like grabbing something from this map and putting it this map. You know, that's not how it works. And the reason why we choose V1 is actually because Colorado V1 is better optimized. You know, you have a FPS different. I agree that in Colorado V2 there are like more details and it's like overall it looks more full, but V1 is better, especially also the terrain.
My Streamlabs completely froze while I was trying to add the chat box. Now I don't see the screen, so I hope it's on the right screen. Can you? What about redesign of characters in first person? What about them? Oh, you mean you want us to redesign them in first person? I mean,
It's actually something what also triggers myself. For example, when you have like this game, this engine has only like one, I think
yeah,
two,
one.
but only one is working, a first person hand model, because the characters they are too low poly, let's call it
Poly,
like this,
yeah.
like too high optimized. So when you would see their hands, then it will look like literally, I don't know how to, like Minecraft hands. So it's really hard to add their like different arms and hands.
Hmm. Um, can you bring back a global GI locker in survival? No. Let's just put it that simple. Because you guys see, this is something we've been talking about a lot, in feedback and stuff like that. People want this to be more like towards the old ISS 2013, but people are asking for some of the newer functions that are more game breaking than the ones we added. Like, for example, we've added a bunch of new boss zombies, as we call them, alien, toxic, etc. And those are not game breaking because you can easily avoid them. You can easily not deal with them if you don't feel comfortable with it, if you don't like it. But when you put global, no, it just breaks. It just breaks the gameplay a little bit. We are gonna redo the buzz system. Okay, we're gonna make it more dynamic to make more sense, but we're not gonna have it like it is in arcade or open world. All right. Are you guys gonna change the sniper rifle drop rate in survival? Like I said, everything related to loot is constantly being adjusted as we see needed. How about attachments that reduce very high of spread on ADS? Well, there are attachments that greatly reduce the spread, and we are Steve and I have been touching a lot of the attachment statistics, and we're improving it. So yeah, they're gonna make a much bigger difference. Hi guys, you can put Colorado V2 in survival. That's not planned. No, sorry. Barbarian asked about the same thing about putting servers back in PvP servers. We can easily do that. There's no trading. There's no trading servers in survival. It doesn't fit the game. If you want to trade, you meet up at a safe zone. Period. Caliwood in survival mode. Now, we kind of talked about this previously among ourselves, but Caliwood is not a map designed for survival. Remember, Caliwood came at a very late state of ISS, and it came when the game had already turned into a PvP fest. Okay, so yeah, it is a good map, but it's not a good PvE map. So in the future, there is a possibility we can always add it, but at least for now, the map doesn't fit the game. Craft bullets in survival. Yes, you can craft bullets in survival. Oh, craft the bullets?
Already fixed for the next patch.
Yeah, yeah. We found the issue and we fixed it. If I buy the season 5 pass and I'm level 28, do I get all the rewards from the first levels? No, you do not, sir, because that's your account level. It's not. This is kind of confusing, and we're also fixing this on the upcoming patch. Oh my god, I'm just gonna start banning people who insist on asking me opinions in other languages. Um, so we're gonna change that so it's more clear what is what, okay? But no, your account level has literally nothing to do with the season pass. They level up the same way, like the experience gain is similar, but it doesn't mean that they share the same gain that you had previously. How the snipers are dropping? How? They just. There's a system in the game that places an item on the map randomly with a certain percent of chance. That's how they're dropping. With the wipe and the change of characters that was made in the weapons, it is observed that there are much fewer people than before. Is this a result? I really don't understand that question because that literally made no sense. Why are rare keys more common than common keys? I'll take a look. I'll definitely take a look at that for sure. Guys, we don't have a delay, but I'm having to scroll back down to check all the questions you guys are writing because some people are writing 10 times the same thing in other languages and we're not gonna answer them. Is there any way to change what account? Yeah, see, it's repeated. Sniper's drop system. Okay, again, with this question. Guys, it's simple. Items have rarity. The more rare they are, the harder they are to find. That's simple for you guys to understand, okay? There's a chance of sniper pretty much anywhere on the map, but better chance at certain spots. Yeah. Kush TV talked about the spread like that in 2020, and that's something Steve worked on. We've been adjusting and looking at it from a different perspective. How do you prevent aggressive cheating like it was back in the days? Well, Ensign. We have a working and very effective anti-cheat. We cannot promise no cheaters, of course, because this is 2020. This is the internet. People, sorry for the words, but people are assholes. They will find any way they can. But we are constantly fighting and updating our systems to prevent people from cheating. And most people will not even feel cheaters. I had a feeling like the movement speed on BR is faster than in survival. Yes, that is true, Atis Java. It is faster in Battle Royale. We made it that way because of the game dynamics. Yeah, we can look into making the character movement look more like it.
You want me to pick some?
Yeah, I'm just going through and they just kept repeating the same questions.
Yeah. Cliffside. I don't know. Maybe in the future I can implement it like in a weekend event and see how the community reacts to that. But I feel like that we have already enough servers in survival, and when we bring now a different map, then we move these people into a different map, and then the servers are even emptier. So, but that is possible. Yeah.
Alright, before we go on, wait, let me move down. Alright, so this is getting out of hand. Guys, do not repeat your questions, they will get answered. Okay, this just made it all worse. Alright, so for now I'm gonna go back to the forums to discuss the points made there. And we will come back here, alright? Discuss make low tier wooden item crate spawn around the map. No. If we make wooden item crates, which we plan on, they're not going to be low tier. Okay, they will have a chance, of course, of having worst items, not just great items, but they will have value. Discuss disabling ping you can do to show teammates where people are. This is unfair to solo player who are sneaker buggers, like myself. If pinging was disabled, it would force clans and groups to be very specific in their Discord team speak where the solo player is. This, I mean, this is a good point, but I don't see this like playing a huge part in the PvP. Honestly, I don't know. What do you think, Steve? Do you think the pinging function helps too much or prevents people from being able to play solo?
No. Like the ping system is quite how it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I understand what he means, but I don't see that as being a big. Guys, please stop repeating the questions, or we will not be able to answer them. Crash Heli and airdrop loot absolutely sucks. It's terrible. Yeah. Alright, so we are constantly improving and changing them. They were actually nerfed, but maybe we've nerfed it a little bit too much. Add an option to change preferred NVG color. No. NVG is like that, period. NVG is green. Okay, you can look anywhere in the world. NVG is green, period. Layer select. I don't mean to be rude, but it's not very good looking. It's low res. It's not low res. It's set to the same resolution as you have your game. Okay, so if your game is in low resolution, of course the animation's gonna be. Make survival easier to go around. Bus stops. Yes, this is I already kind of mentioned, but we are reworking the bus stop system on survival. We're gonna make it so you can actually travel around the map, but not inside safe zones, obviously. But you can go from point to point randomly on the map at certain points. That will make transporting items to safe zone easier. But of course, it will cost SD. Do you guys have a plan on adding increased spread to jumping and shooting? It already happens. There is already an increased spread when you're jumping. Doghouse crates have the most random low tier gear and always seen open even on fresh servers. If they're open, it means they don't have to. They've been looted or they haven't been spawned in yet. Just wait a little bit more. But since the dog houses are so easy to get into, we lowered the quality of the loot inside it. I have over 200 kills on my main character. I'm stuck at 100 positive rep. Can you make it so when you reach a certain rep in positive you can not lose anymore? No, it's not. It's not possible. See, when you're a good person, you cannot kill people randomly. So if you kill another good person, you fucked up. So you will lose rep. That's how it works. But when you're a bad person, no matter who you kill, you're just bad. You just keep being bad. Loot has been changing so much. Loot has been and will continue to be changed until it's completely perfect, which might take some time. But the thing is, there's no such thing as loot guide as the idea of the game is this. We might even, make a new random area with better loot than it was before randomly on one patch, and then we move that loot to the other because that is part of our game. That has always been part of Infestation, even from the first developers. Right. I'm gonna let you answer a couple, Steve. Rare rooms should have only good items. You can make it harder to get, but if you really open the room, you will know it was worth the time to get it. What do you think about that, Steve?
like the rare rooms and the common rooms, that's like like people expected too much from these crates, you know. Like we implemented a new system with these crates and with the loot inside, and during the test period, it was too easy. Like literally, it is too easy to come to these boxes, especially in the dog houses. But when we talk about these locked rooms, I opened them now because of too many reports that people used their rare key, came into the room, and the boxes were empty. So I'm also planning to remove the door and place these loot boxes like everywhere in like the military and in the towns. I want to place them everywhere, you know. So I'm also planning to create like medic boxes and food boxes. So yeah, it is not really planned to get like something really rare out of it. Let's say it like this. You have a chance. That's what I said earlier. There's a chance system integrated, means you have on this place a better chance to get this, but it's always a chance. It doesn't mean that you will get it, you know. It's the same with the skin boxes. Us banana Joey is always lucky. You open 100, you don't get anything that you want, and the next guy opens one and gets the best skin. It's all chance based, so.
All right. Now there's another point that I really want to talk about. Something we've discussed before. Remove bullet option would be cool. Most people have some C mags and don't like to use them. Give us a chance to remove the bullets from the C mag and put them into empty mag 30s. We do have a plan on the crafting system to in the future. We don't know when, but we do have a plan of making like a function like disassemble the items. Okay, so you get some resources from it, and this could be possible with mags as well. You know, we could do that as well. Honey Badger is bad and not common. Honey Badger is extremely powerful, but it's a short range weapon. You guys have to take into consideration that some weapons are better close range than the SIG, for example. If you're face to face with someone with a P90, the SIG has no chance, for instance. Car spawns should be more common in Clearview private service. I don't know about other towns. Yeah, see, because I play Clearview the most. I don't even think this. I should answer that.
I
but-
actually have a nice story about that. I think it was yesterday. Someone DM'd me and complained about the car spawns. I explained it to him. So basically, Colorado has 50 car spawns, and from these 50, 9 cars are spawning on the same time, randomly, all over the map. So I spawned in yesterday in Norad. I was farming in Norad, and there was a car, so I drove to Blue Ridge. Found actually a car at Blue Ridge, so I switched, drove over Clearview, found a car in Clearview, and then drove to Smallville and found a car in Smallville. And then I was like, why do people complain about cars, you know?
No, the
I was
problem.
just
I,
lucky,
I,
I
I
guess,
think
but-
the biggest problem is complaining about cars at a specific location. You know.
Yeah.
Because he plays there, so there should be more cars there. So if I play in Campos, should I just demand more cars in Campos? That's not fair. Make the flea market healthier. No, we do not plan on having anything. This is what capitalism looks like, and you guys can feel it firsthand. It's offer and demand. People with rare items can literally ask for whatever price they want, and people with common items will have to go with the flow with the rest of the people. Period. So yeah, we cannot do that. That's just not fair. We cannot tell you, hey, you cannot sell your CMAG for 10 SD. You gotta sell it for 5. That's literally what communism is. And yeah, communism. Yeah. Anyway, if there is still
I
such.
have one thing where I want to say something really quick, because I heard it in a video what I watched before the stream started. about why we not announcing or writing down as soon we do a change on the loot table. Okay, basically the main problem or the main report that I received was with the double alien super zombie in Frosty Pines. The problem there was that people reported that non-stop to me, and I checked the zombie spawn. And I was like, there's just one. And then Banana Joe showed me finally the place where the second one spawns. And we are trying to keep the loot rare, like the good loot. And the alien super zombie has a high chance to get the good loot. And when there are like two aliens and one super zombie next to each other, and you just stand on top of a fire station and shoot everything down, that's not the point. So I removed it, but I did not announce it because the loot on the private server update faster than the official servers, because the private server, they shut down and start again, but the official servers don't do, So as soon as they shut down and start, the loot's updated. But when I announce it, and then people from the official servers and they see it, there are still the alien super zombie, then they're also complaining that we are lying. So that's why I rather don't type it instantly and put it into the patch notes, so it will be informed on the next patch where it's like then everything is updated. So I just wanted to say that.
Right, perfect. Now somebody complaining about lack of snipers or too few snipers in Survivor. I mean, if you look at the flea market, people are already selling a few of them. But yeah, he says he wants a survival mode, but that was not like old times when you could find a blazer in Fruit Farm. I don't know if you know this, but that's exactly where it went downhill. That's exactly when they made mistakes on the loot tables that made snipers common. And that's not the direction we want to go to. Okay, we may adjust the loot for snipers to be more common here and there, okay? But it's not gonna be like when you could find a blazer and shoot farm. That's never gonna happen. Because then it is gonna become a sniper PvP again. Why do you not remove all skins from survival and only keep clan skins? This is I don't even know if this person who asked this question is part of a clan with a clan skin, but if he is, it just makes it even worse. But that's an extremely selfish question. Okay, why don't you remove skins from everyone except from me? The thing is with skins, this is a free to play game, everything on the game is free. So the only way to make the game not pay to win is to make skins as for GC, and that's gonna stay as it is. We are sorry. I want to get the old wood barricade. I think the hole is not big happened this wood barricade. So he's complaining about the hole in the wood barricade. The problem with that hole they have in the wood we had in the wood barricade is that it could only shoot from inside out and not the other way around. So it's extremely OP. So we just balanced it out because we're gonna move it more commonly to survival on the upcoming patch. So yeah, that we cannot have it too OP. Why did you all say this was gonna be an early ISS? But it looks like nothing like that. The spread on the guns are terrible. Okay, this is just an opinion, not a question. Okay, so we asked for questions and people wrote Bibles. Guys, I understand all these feedback you guys gave on the forum post are great, but that's for questions, for the Q&A. It's not for Bibles to write, Now let's get back. Oh, wait. There's a few more here. Oh my god.
Oh, you're right.
So no, I just got. I'm not even gonna answer this before I rage. But people are asking for the old V1 and the Caliwood. And it's like taking an element from 2013 and take an element from 2015. and then putting them together and saying that's the classic. No, that's not the classic. It's either Colorado V2 and Caliwood or Colorado V1 only. Period. Ammo for GC, that's not going to happen either. No, we're not going to do that. The stats on the guns descriptions, they do not represent the outcome shooting guns. Yes, they do. There are other things that affect the guns. Distance is one thing. Uh, Armor, obviously, skill trees for both sides. All these things affect it, but yeah, they do. What measures have you introduced and are planning to introduce to make the game appealing to new players? That's something we did create the tutorial maps, the beginner stuff, so people can learn a bit about the game before joining in. Are you guys gonna add new places to view one map, or is it still gonna be the same? See, this guy just asked, complained about the map being the original one, and now this guy comes and pretty much complains that it's still the same one. You see the issue with feedback, guys? This is what I'm always saying. Sometimes you guys obviously have a very good point, but the problem is sometimes, people have two different points on the same matter. This guy wants the map more classic than it already is, and this other guy wants more things added to the map. Steve, what do you think about adding more things to the map? To view one,
It's
more areas and stuff.
I mean, the main priority what I have right now in Colorado V1 is to improve the towns which are there already. Like I rather spend some time to make like campus better to PvP with than creating a new town which maybe doesn't really fit in there. So
Okay. All right, so we're done with the forms. Let's get back here. Will you be adding anything from the epic skill tree to survival? No, we won't. GI loot manager tool to manage your DI to have it clean and nice. I talk about this every time I stream. It would be great, obviously, but we would have to literally redo the whole system on how the game works because all that loot you see is stored in our database. Okay, so we cannot simply organize it like that. So we would have to create a completely new system, which would consume a lot, like a shit ton of time, and we are a very small developing team, so it's really hard. Will you add bit on item? Bet. Oh, bid. Okay, so more like an auction house. What do you think, Steve, about adding an auction house to the flea market? You know how that works?
yeah, I'm thinking right now how that would fit in our engine.
Yeah, I don't, because it is something very common in MMORPGs, but
Hmm. That's something where we can think about it, but mm,
another thing on the same topic, a pre-order system in the market system. Someone actually talked to me about this before in more detail, which is pretty much you add an item you want to buy and how much you want to buy it for, and people sell it to you straight up instead of the other way around. It is a very
that
interesting
that is a
idea,
good
right?
idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. About the SA servers, we now have a good amount of servers. I was looking at statistics on the SA servers and the amount of players on. The thing is, a lot of people are still farming. Okay, not everyone has their whole day to farm, so they only farm at night in South American type. So the servers are extremely popped. Do you guys plan on making any adjustments to the skill tree? Austin, we could make changes to it, but we don't. It's hard because if we touch too much, we might fuck it up. and the system it has is already great. Can we get any underground areas like NORAD tunnel? Not really easy or possible to do. Maybe an area, specific area, but in general, if Steve, if you want to talk a little bit about having like underground areas, like we have those tunnels and stuff. If you want to explain a little bit of
Um,
why is it so hard?
Basically, this engine does not support underground areas when it comes to go under the terrain, since there's only one terrain layer. So there's only a way to create like actually a tunnel with actually objects. For example, what Area 69 had.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for
Not only
everything else,
even
the engine is too
Vero,
old.
Vero is like that as well. Vero
Yeah,
containment area
exactly.
on arcade. Yeah, and the tunnels we have, you see all those rocks on top. You know, they're not part of the mountain. They're actually objects that we have to add there. Can you try to add a spawn system where we are able to choose the spawn around the town we're in to avoid spawn camping? It yes and
No.
no. No, because it's possible, but it's not feasible. Let's put it that way. Because it would complicate everything. Because you know, if you die at Sniper Hill, for example, at Clearview, where were you PvPing in Smallville or Clearview? Because it's right between, you know. So there are too many.
Also, the fact is that you could easily, like, when you die, then you just choose the spawn behind that enemy team, and then you can just surround them, which is, in my eyes, unfair. And the other point is also, like, I added for the next patch tons of new spawns, but you guys have to understand, like, also when you log out, like, on one place and you should normally spawn there, and then all of a sudden you spawn somewhere else, then that means that the spawn where you should spawn is disabled because someone spawned already there.
Yeah.
So there's a system that makes sure that you don't spawn like back in the ISS. You spawn together with a Portuguese clan of 20 people.
Yeah, Bixa and NC spawning exactly at the same time. 10 people each side at
Yeah.
Clearview Forest. That was fucking hilarious. Um, could we get an unsafe stash access on POIs where you could just run there to stash? Yeah, we've talked about this, what, 2 days ago, Steve? Perico asked about having pretty much like a NPC that you can store your items, you know, but not in a safe zone.
Oh yeah, we had that idea. Yeah.
We actually discussed this. We're thinking about
Yeah.
adding that. We're thinking about how to add that, but yes, that is in our plans, Perico. I did, but did I understand it right? You're saying is not pay to win, where people can buy skins and sell them on the market. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that again.
No, just skip
Uh,
it.
can't you guys rotate? So because people like that, they just want the game to be free, completely free. Everyone has everything for free from day one, you know, and we work and pay for the servers from our own pocket. Can't you guys rotate the PvP maps in arcade each 2 to 4 weeks? We can go back to doing that. We used to do that, but people were complaining about the maps we added. So we can do that, but people have to realize that we're not always going to add the server that that group of people specifically like. I just noticed the music stopped. Don't you think spread accuracy of guns is too low? Yes, I already talked about that. We are currently improving all the guns in general. Just improving. Um, what is the percentage chance of spawning a sniper in areas where they spawn? It can range. It's impossible to say because there are too many different things to consider when you're thinking about percent. You cannot put a certain percentage on something because of how the system is. There's an extremely small chance of sniper spawning. Odds Java asked, would you be able to test the movement speed from the battle royale? No, there isn't. There's no room for that actually. We can do it, but it doesn't make sense because battle royale is a game mode that is supposed to be dynamic and fast. We're gonna give you tools to move around the map easier, but we're not gonna make your character run faster because it's still, in the end of the day, it's still PvP still plays a big part of the game. Can we get some car skins? Yeah, see, people complaining about skins now. Even cars, they want with skins. What is your plans to bring back the players? See, this guy's repeating the same thing, and we're constantly adjusting. And the fact that you're here instead of trying to help and being supportive, that you're just literally just asking what is your plan. I mean, this is something we need from everyone, not only from us. Of course, our team needs to do. We need to do our job on this, obviously, but you guys can help as well. If you're streaming and you're criticizing things that you like about the game, but you're still criticizing because of that moment, that's bad for everyone involved. Not just for us. But we are working on more marketing strategies. Now, Velzen is pretty much the same. The question, no, I'm not gonna read the same question over and over again, Joe. Sorry. Please get rid of custom crosshair so everyone uses the same one. I mean, I wouldn't be against that, but I think that doesn't make a difference. What do you think, Steve, about crosshairs, custom crosshairs?
Yeah, there's no point since it's just client-sided. No one has an advantage, and yeah, just a cosmetic.
Yeah, exactly. Now Arrowhead asked, there was Cliffside, so I asked 3 times now and you said everything. First of all, we told you guys, there's no point asking the same question 7 times or 1 time is the same thing. It only makes it harder and makes the Q&A less dynamic because I'm trying to read the questions and I have to read the same question over and over again. Now about Cliffside. Yes, you asked if there is Cliffside coming to Survival. What Silent said is we have Cliffside, we can rework it to adapt to Survival again, but we do not plan on adding it right now. That's it. Just summarizing for you. Any plans to make 2 or 5 privates? Sir? No, Geddes. You rent a minimum 10 people and you just let as many people as you want in. Is there an advertising roadmap and a way to allow new players a easier learning curve than the regular one? There is already, Perco. If you have a new account, you'll see there are servers that teach the people how the game dynamics and the game mechanics work in the beginning. Are weapons changing all the time? Because I'd like to only keep my favorite gun, but I never know if you guys. Yes, we're gonna change to make them better, but right now the balance on the guns is pretty much good, right, Steve? It's just gonna be like a general improvement. We're gonna improve everything, but in comparison to each other, they're pretty much gonna be the same.
Yeah. Like we don't change a weapon, for example, then the M4 is better than the SIG or something.
Yeah.
So everything has like the same. We just improve. If we improve the guns, then we improve all of them on the same ratio, so they still stay in the same position.
Can you? I love these things. Not this one. Can you add special places on the map for roleplay only? I mean, in the future, why not? We could create RP servers. That would be cool as well. I think it would, but the thing is, our population is not enough for an RP community yet. About snipers, the drop is perfect, but why don't you add a little bit more of wood shields? We already talked about this. We're making a few changes to the wood shield system so people cannot carry 20 wood shields and spam them everywhere. So we're gonna have a little bit of a different system in survival, so you can actually use them in PvP like you could before, but not like you can do in arcade. Okay, that you run and play 7. Okay, so yes, and then when we add that system, we will make them much more common. Yes. What is a book behind Chupa's two shelf on left? Jesus fucking Christ.
What?
Yeah, he's asking about a book on my shelf. There's too many books.
I actually thought you will put like the present from Egoist there, but
Now I'd get banned on Twitch. Not gonna happen. Not sleep. I will deal with Asian Cup very soon. Now that everything is Oregon map. Is Oregon map 100% finished? Silent.
yeah, like the playable area won't be increased that much anymore, because right now people have already issues with playing on that map, since it's so big and has so many objects. It's like the size is almost the same like Colorado, as I said, but the amount of objects is like 50% more than on Colorado, so I cannot bring more. And that also brings that issue. Maybe the Oregon player know that the zombies sometimes like fly while walking, or they're walking through terrain. That's because of the optimization that we did. Otherwise, you would not be able to play that map. So
I'm already completely lost on the because of all the repeated questions. So I don't know if I went through this part. Okay, so these
then
4
jump
guys
some
from the
up.
same clan are spamming you, mentioning you on Twitch, asking about the server limit. So I'm not gonna answer them. I'll let you answer and say whatever you and say whatever you want to them.
I had a discussion earlier on Discord about that. On EU, let's take EU. Like almost half of the servers have no limit. Let's say 10 group, 10 clan, and the other half is limited. So I don't see a problem. Like the most of the people complain actually about that, because these limited servers are higher popped than the unlimited servers, and that's why people want us to remove the limit there so they can join there with the entire clan, but that is not how it works. And if I see that, for example, there are 2 3-pop server, 3 limited server, if they're not getting full, both of them, then I will just remove the limitation of one of them. That is normal, but for that, first we have to gather information about these servers, otherwise we're not just changing it.
Alright, MJ LOL 12345 asks, will you be adding anything to see how spread and stuff will look after you've added attachments? Well, spread is random in the game, like in the game system, and it will stay that way. We're gonna keep it random. Okay, but yeah, you will see a difference in statistics hopefully right now. See, somebody already said that the pre-order system we mentioned on the flea market, it ruined BDO, Black Desert Online, so it hurts more than it helps. So yeah, see, there's a good point. Oh god, these guys are even creating new accounts just to ask you about the... So guys, everyone, go and fight these guys that they want to play in a bigger group than you guys are playing. That's pretty much what they're saying. Why Mosin and M4OA1 don't want you to the head? Need more loot ammo? Well, Mosin is actually not technically a sniper per se. It's a bolt action rifle. Okay, so yeah, that's why it doesn't. If you want to look for realism, we should make that every single gun in the game one shots to the head, even the nail gun. So yeah. Right now, oh my god, this guy is. Now people are asking for a solo server. One versus two is fine. Then would you consider incorporating public? Austin, we yes and no because like I said, we're adjusting from feedback already. So it doesn't make sense for people because people have different opinions. Some people want the guns to be easier to use. Some people want them harder. Mm-hmm. For example, the last skill tree on the bottom after the harden is complete. Can I find? How can I find the XMR sniper? Steve, can you answer that real quick while I find these
What
questions
was
that
the
I love?
question?
How can I find XMRs? Can you explain to him how to get the coins and stuff?
I think I actually answered this question. XMRs, you cannot find a sniper on the ground or on the maps. You have to actually do the specialist contracts where you earn a specialist coin. And as soon as you have 10 coins, you go to the trading lounge and activate the mission specialist mission. And then you get a sniper box, and there's the XMR. Easy, huh?
Yeah. Would it be possible to randomize the spawns around the city? If three guys die in one place, there's a chance that everyone should spawn in different spawns, but that already happens, odds. If you die at the same place with the same person, you guys are not gonna spawn together. Okay, Super Tommy is still insisting on this with the crosshair. Can you do something about movement jump mechanic? Doesn't affect stamina at all. And then survival would really. Yeah, that's also something we don't like. I personally don't like that the jumping doesn't kill your stamina, but it is how it used to be. Someone said Oregon's empty. Oregon's far from empty. Colorado has much more empty space than Oregon. Much, much more. No, Everstroke. Newsy will not necessarily have a roleplay server. That was just an idea pointed out by someone, and I thought it would be cool. Didn't say we're gonna do it. Ghost Tech, we cannot create a Steam workshop like that due to copyright stuff. This is extremely sensitive situation. We've tried this not on Steam, but we tried this on our own. But people think grabbing an image from Google is okay. And Agado, please let us know in a private message or on Discord somewhere about your ticket. Okay, so we can find out what is wrong with your computer. And so you're gonna make some survival cup. No, people are not leaving my flesh. People are actually spending a lot of time looting. That's what's happening the most of the time. You want to return the lockers to official servers? Now that's something I've thought about. Steve, what do you think about allowing wood lockers to the official servers?
They are allowed on official server.
They are even the.
The
But
wood
only the
lockers
wood.
are allowed on
Yeah,
the
only
official
the wood
server.
one.
So.
Yeah, so there you go. No, we're not gonna make. See, again, I'm not gonna discuss skins anymore. Anything about skins, guys, is gonna be. We're not gonna talk about right now, alright? No need to shout. Will infestation. Is there a way to add an option where you can choose between the cup? We're gonna implement the system with the crosshairs in the future. Will infestation have championships like leagues? Championships are not created or organized by the game creators. Okay, they're organized by third parties. They come up with the concepts and they get the support or not from the game development companies. Jesus Christ, I'm completely lost, guys. Heartbreaker, can you please start timing out people who repeat their question more than twice? Because I literally can't get through all the questions because of that. I'm completely lost again in the chat. I can't find the questions anymore. Um, can you add more missions and contracts to survival? What about making flag contacts more fun to get PvP, not only to farm SD? The idea of flag contesting is to create more PvP because you dominate the area. Okay, people may be using the wrong way, so we can add stuff to it that will make people use it more. Yeah, can you add stamina for normal jumping? What do you think about that one, Steve? Lose stamina when you jump.
I like the idea, especially like when I watch the survival streamers and it's still in their blood that they're non-stop jumping, and I'm telling them, guys, there's no sniper. Why are you jumping? You know that, but that's in the blood. But the problem is changes like this changes the mechanic, the PvP mechanic, you know, and it's a good idea, but it can make people angry. That's the problem.
Mall Lemonade, any ideas to be able to look into your die while dead? Your die? I mean, you're probably talking about your death, how you like a death cam. And no, that's the way this game works. That makes no sense because sometimes you're gonna get shot from somewhere you don't know, and if you see the camera, the death cam, like you have in Counter Strike, you're gonna be able to tell all your friends that how you died, where you died, and it's just gonna give away the position. Can you guys bring back West Oaks as PvP server? Yes, we can. Yes, we will. Will recoil be reworked so it has less of a horizontal recoil and more of vertical? What? That makes no sense. I think there are two weapons in the whole game that have a side recoil, which is just to adjust. But yeah, they 90% of the weapons have only vertical recoil. How often do you guys plan on doing community Q&As? We plan on doing it as much as possible and as much as needed. That's pretty much. How often do you guys? No. What do you guys think about making? Okay, I talked about the loot and heli crashes, airdrops, and stuff. Any plans to pay ad to big streamers? If a big streamer comes to us with a good proposal, great. But we're not gonna pay people that don't want to play the game to play our game. That's that's not something we like. Make us choose what reputation side we want to go. No, your reputation, it's called reputation, it's not a rank. So your reputation depends on what you do with your life. Can you make an option show hide melee weapon on the leg? Yeah, I don't know if we can make that option, but I understand your point. What do you think, Steve, about the melee weapon showing on your side of your leg?
Like I don't see the point to remove it. Like
Yeah,
it also
because,
has like
when you're
technical,
carrying a shovel on your waist, I think that's what he is criticizing.
I mean, yeah, it can look weird, especially also when you have like a double lightsaber. Then the lightsaber is sometimes like bigger than your character. But I also feel it good when I see the enemy and I see what that he has a second weapon, you know, like when the weapon is not there on your side, from where do you get that weapon then, you know? Should you make an animation that you open your backpack first, and you know, it's like, yeah. I mean, I agree. Sometimes it looks kind of stupid, but where else do you want to have your secondary weapon?
Yeah, it is weird.
And
Now
you still have the option to put your secondary weapon in your backpack, and then you won't have a secondary weapon.
I see another, let's say, good suggestion, but not really very effective. But this guy suggested adding garages for private servers safe zones, so you can save your car in the safe zone, like in GTA, you know. But I don't think it just fits the game. That's it.
The
Maybe we
problem
can
is the
make
entire car system,
crafting cars in the future.
like the entire car system and the car spawn system, what I explained earlier, is server sided, and the car we would have to move the car system then into client sided, so you can actually save it. But what happens if there's a garage and someone else is in there right now, and you log in and your car also, like, the car's already buggy enough. I mean, everyone knows that, so I would not touch the system.
Boats is a good idea, especially in Oregon. No, boats not a good idea. Period. What about removing clan group and clan tags so people have to pay attention when playing with 10 men? I mean, I like this idea, honestly. I've put this idea forward, but nobody was behind and I got their point, you know? We're pretty much trying to force people to play in smaller groups because we don't want them to play in bigger groups. And that's literally forcing our opinion and our desires into other people. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, like I mean, we could, like, depends how the of the size of the community, but we could, like, maybe do in the future, make like one server in each region, which is like really hardcore, you know. We remove everything, we remove HUD and everything what you guys want, you know, to just experience like the hardcore feeling, you know. But right now, like, removing clan tags or name tags or group arrows on top of your head, that's a huge change, you know. Like, maybe you don't play in a clan, so you want to remove that, or let us remove it, you know. But big clans, they need that, so it's, yeah. No, I don't like that idea in general.
Alright, any plans on adjusting how cars spawn on private servers? That's a really off question. I don't understand.
No, the car
Yeah.
system will be the same. Like,
I think the
I
car
already
system
talked
works
with Fred
fine,
about
especially
it.
on private servers.
If we maybe increase the spawn on the private server, but we still have to, like, he also said, that's a no-go. In arcade we would do it, but in survival, you guys have to understand, even if you have a private server, it is already then easy enough to bring loot to your GI, you know. Like, it's not that we shoot it more easier, you know. That's not gonna happen. It's still survival, and we should never forget that.
Does the engine support the possibility of free look, meaning that you can look to the sides without having to turn? It does, but like I said, that's a huge game break or game changing mechanic that is very different from what we've always had. So, though it's possible, it doesn't make sense in this game specifically. How about the craft system? What can we expect in the future? Because right now, the current bullet crafting is hard to get, and people just don't craft or don't sell. Like, pretty much, they don't pick up shit. What do you think, Steve? What can we do on the crafting system?
Like I think you came up with that already earlier. Like we would like to implement also like a shredder machine, the same way how the workbenches work technically. So we place them somewhere, and then you have to go there, and then you can like destroy things that you don't need, and then you get resources out of it. And when it comes directly to the crafting list, we constantly adding new things. I think the last thing that we added was the gauss. Yeah, that was the last thing that we have added, and we are constantly thinking about what will be worth to add there, but we also don't want to like how it was in the previous version. We don't want to spam like stuff that no one would ever touch. For example, like crafting a flashlight. Why would someone craft a flashlight? It's cool to craft, but no one needs it, right? So, yeah.
Alright, please think about classic lockers. They're just not worth to buy or use. Because though they can't be destroyed, they can only be used in private servers. They have no advantage over the wooden lock boxes because they can only be used in private servers as well. What do you think, Steve? Maybe add more slots to it? The classic, I mean the code locker. Because the
Small code lock?
yeah, the small code locker, they're not really worth it. Because you can make a wooden locker for much less. And since people use those lockers in private servers only, people are not going to destroy each other. Only on my server, for some reason, people like to do that. But, for Gore-Tex. But yeah, there's no advantage in having a code locker.
That's true. Yeah, maybe we can work with adding like few more slots, but actually the drop chance and the loot tables is higher on the small code locker, especially on the slicer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a good point. I will write it down.
You will kill someone, get money, even though they can have money on them. No, that's not gonna happen in survival. Look, all cars in the map is already broken. You have to find the parts for the car. Yeah, that would be fun. That would actually be fun. Red Energy asked, "Will helmet pop off and durability make a comeback?"
Ask the PvP people in our chat if they like the helmet pop-up feature.
Yeah. Do you think Pam would reduce the time the loot stays on the ground? When people are killed by other, it would increase the loot loss. Yeah, Lust, we actually do consider that in the future. Yes, consider making the items despawn faster in official servers in the future. Can we put? Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Chris Wingates talked about. Can we put the large melee weapons on the back instead of on the waist? Because okay, when you have like the bayonet on your waist, when you don't have it equipped on your hands, it looks okay. But when you have a pickaxe, it just looks weird. That's what he's talking about.
No. Because the character, the rig of the character have like one spot where that slot from your inventory is assigned to, and when we move that to the back, and like if we cannot duplicate it and say if it's a long melee, like the code it doesn't know like how long the melee is. It only knows the ID. And
Yeah. All right.
That's not possible.
Is it possible to take the rank icon from the name tag out from your clan and group mates on the F9? Where it shows all your group clan tags. It just looks weird, like with a rank. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, but you can turn that completely
Yeah,
off.
but
right?
you can turn that completely off. But what if you want to know who's who? And then there's a huge thing there. It's just because of the size.
Oh,
And I like that idea.
I have to ask.
I wrote it down actually. That's not a question, Tom Chink Cutie. Can you do something with Silent Walk? It's bad in my opinion. Exactly, in your opinion. Because we had a poll in the game about it and people like prefer to keep it as it is. Slowly adjust requirements for crafting, focus locations that are concentrated in loot materials for. Yep, we are doing that, Austin. We are right now. You need to increase timers on mad. I mean, if you need a. Okay, listen to this question by Crow. You need to increase timers on meds and shields to counter macros. Because people are using macros apparently to use 2 DXs in 7 seconds. Is that what he means?
It's actually possible because the DX in arcade has a cooldown of 5 seconds.
Yeah, but for 5 seconds, but like the
But the macro
cooldown is
doesn't
there
matter,
already.
you also-
Yeah, exactly. It has
You
nothing
also
to
can
do with
press a key in
macros.
7 seconds.
Now this guy's asking converting GC to SD. Any plans on doing that?
I never thought about that, but yeah. I mean, we have GD to GC to GD, so why not also doing that? But that will also
I think it
I
would
have to
break
ask
the economy
Fred
a little bit.
yeah,
this
because
early.
we have to watch out for the economy and in survival. Like,
Yeah, the system that.
or we
can-
just make it extremely high, like 10,000 GC is like 100
10.
SD.
Okay, that would actually make someone rich. Raisin asks, can you add a system that can stack ammo in global inventory? I talked a little bit about this earlier, Raisin. But the thing with that is that it's too hard. It's way too hard because we would need to rebuild the whole system, literally. So it is a good idea. Can you make old HUD? HUD is not okay. I know a lot of people prefer the old HUD than the newer one, but the old HUD had less information. When are you gonna place? When are you going to place spikes to go around the map? That question's gonna get on it. It's not gonna get answered. Can you enable zombies to return to their original spawn after X amount of time? No, because that would help people who are being chased. So they get chased, they run on top of a house, and then the zombies just go home. Like nothing happened. No. How about an extra slot for crafting materials in GI? I don't see that as a bad idea. A new tab on the GI for just for crafting materials. Would make sense, right? Because
Yeah,
it
we have
gets
to see
overpolluted.
how it looks like.
Yeah,
There's also limited space. We cannot just like.
yeah. But yeah, it could be possible. No, putting metal lockers in official servers is a horrible idea, odds. No. We've had this experience. What about make... But you can place wood lockers in public servers, guys. You can. People are asking for the old map, and now this guy is asking for us to bring a new map. There's literally Oregon, which is a completely new map. You can play there. But there's no Colorado V2, and White Hospital and Post Office are open. Okay, look at this. This is the issue, okay? Guys, this is... We wanted to use V1 because that's the feeling we want to bring back. So we're not going to use V2 for now. We do have V2, but we're not going to use it for now. And we've opened buildings because that's a process that they started back in the day. They just dropped it. But they were in the process of opening buildings. And the idea was, and has always been of having every building in a town open. No, it's not possible to get a random spawn in a town. It's either random on the map or not. Can you maybe change the zombie dot to big damage? No, they are boss. We cannot increase the damage on the zombie dog. Those little things are fucking evil. They won't stop biting you. It doesn't matter if you're hitting them or anything you're doing with them. They're actually going for you still. Do you guys think that a centralized poll location would be better and in-game polls kind of limit accessibility? No, because Austin, that's exactly the opposite. Centralized poll location is the game. Because forums or Discord doesn't support, it's not everyone who's here or there or on Facebook. So everyone who plays the game is in game. And we want people who are actively playing the game to vote. How about PvP contracts? We've thought about PvP contracts. The problem is they're easily abused, so we had to find a solution for that first. Disable what? About rotation of us? Yeah, can you add? I think. No, the boxes available to buy for BR coins are the GD skin boxes, and it's gonna stay that way. Can you add a system that can stack? No, I already explained this. See? Locker open time 3 seconds is useless. So you don't accidentally open it by running towards it, or you have two lockers next to each other and you open the wrong one. It's just to make it easier. Whoever thought about it. Right. I'm just literally reading the same questions over and over again. Guys, please, see, I'm completely lost, so I'm gonna miss a bunch of questions now because of this. Some foods and drinks could have effects, like whiskey should make you drunk, mushrooms could heal you, but make you lazy or slow. Yeah, we do plan on doing that, Fumato. We do plan on doing adding new effects like drugs and alcohol, you know.
Drugs?
Cocaine. No cocaine.
Coffee.
What about leaving the heli crash and all other events? Only unofficial. Yeah, Mods has a point, and we've actually talked about this before. But making heli crashes, airdrops, and stuff like that better, but exclusively on official servers. What do you think, Steve?
Sorry?
Really?
Yeah, I was reading chat.
Fuck's sakes. Now this is an internal joke because he always does that to me when I space out. Wait, I even forgot. Fuck. Oh yeah. This guy suggested making heli crashes, airdrops, and things like that better loot, but make them available only in official servers.
I mean, it's almost the same. Like I would say it's almost the same explanation like what I had with the item crates. Like an airdrop comes and then you don't really have anything to do than just walking there or driving there, hold E and loot. Like there's no really like where you have to go like through a quest for like 2 hours and then open it, you know. But it's like again the chance system on airdrops are higher for getting better loot and stuff, you know, and to limit it only to official servers, I see where the idea goes, but why removing that feature from a private server just because someone paid for it, you know? That's like technically if a customer pays for a server, he should actually have more features than the official servers, technically. But that's just my point of view.
All right, Steve, you want to take a 5-minute break real quick? I can exercise my back because it's killing me.
Oh yeah, I also have to exercise.
All right, guys, I'm just gonna restart the stream real quick because Streamlabs broke. Okay, stay there. Don't leave. It's gonna be very fast.